Outliers and modified box plots. Now, when analyzing data, it is important to identify and consider outliers because they can strongly affect values of some important statistics, such as the mean and standard deviation, and they can also strongly affect important methods discussed later in this course. Previously, we described outliers as samples values that lie very far away from the vast majority of the other values in a data set or a set of data. But that description is vague and it does not provide specific objective criteria. Now we will include a description of modified box plots along with a more precise definition of outliers used in the context of creating modified box plots. Now, caution: when analyzing data, always identify outliers and consider their effects, which can be substantial. Now, we noted that the description of outliers is somewhat vague, but for the purposes of constructing modified box plots, we can consider outliers to be data values meeting specific criteria based on quartiles and the interquartile range. Now recall that the interquartile range is often denoted by IQR, where IQR is equal to quartile 3 minus quartile 1. Now, identifying outliers for modified box plots. First and foremost, you need to find the quartiles: quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3. Number 2, you want to find the interquartile range, the IQR, where IQR is equal to quartile 3 minus quartile 1. And number 3, you're going to evaluate the following. You're going to take the number of 1.5 and multiply it by the IQR, which is whatever you get for the value in step number 2. Now, in a modified box plot, a data value is an outlier if it is the following. If it is above quartile 3, and that is by an amount greater than 1.5 times the interquartile range, or below quartile 1 by an amount greater than 1.5 times IQR. Now, modified box plots. The box plots described earlier are called skeletal or regular box plots, but some statistical software packages provide modified box plots, which represent outliers as special points. Now, a modified box plot is a regular box plot constructed with these modifications. There is a symbol, such as an asterisk or point, is used to identify outliers as defined above, and the solid horizontal line extends only as far as the minimum data value that is not an outlier and a maximum data value that is not an outlier.